Hello, sunshine. Right. Hello, Chris. How's it going, mate? You all seem to get in here like number one or number two. But, I'm going to do another topic no one has kind of thought of yet. So this is something different. Not many people are talking about why Scorpion couldn't just teleport out of the Netherrealm anyway without a link to Cole. So I'm going to go over my idea as to why, especially when it comes to this this new movie. How can they get around it? So I'm going to try and explain it as plausibly as I can. So when it comes to this movie, we know they're doing things different. So, just to iron out or streamline things that people are kind of worried about, I'm trying to go over my ideas to do that, to try and iron this all out. So, thinking about as to why Scorpion couldn't just leave, I had to link it all the way back to Quan, because we all know that Hanzo was chosen by Quan, but why? Why did he want Hanzo specifically? So it's not really explained in the games. It's just that he had, Quan has Hanzo's soul and then turns him into his own weapon, but it's not expressed as to why. So I've kind of got a little idea as to why as well when it comes to this new movie universe, as they want to call it, the MKU, Mortal Kombat universe. So it's gonna be a bit far-fetched, but hopefully I'll explain it as much as I can. So hopefully people have a better idea as to why Scorpion in this film couldn't just teleport out of the Netherrealm anyway. And why was he specifically chosen by Quan? So let's get into this now. I'm going to try and keep this to about an hour again. And again, it's open to anyone who wants to come in and give questions, or if if there's anything that they want me to go over again. So all you got to do is, if you've got my Twitter handle there, send me a private message and I will send you the link if you want to come on. Obviously, I'm going to choose certain people. The people that I kind of know. It's a bit heated at the minute when it comes to people who don't know me. So I'm not going to fall for any traps. So let's get into this. Right. So yeah, we know that Quan took Hanzo's soul to the Netherrealm. But why was it specifically Hanzo to be his weapon? Now, I'm going to go over... What I'm going to do is say that Quan actually sensed Hanzo's Arcana. Now, you have to go by the Arcana thing. It's going to... I know it's a pain in the butt, but we can work around it and we can build off it. So, I know it sounds a bit off, but bear with me. So, his Arcana, Hanzo's Arcana, is actually linked to the fiery energies of the Netherrealm, which is why Quan specifically chose him, because Quan wants to control the Netherrealm, but he can't because, Shinnok's there, and we know Quan likes to take the long path. So when it comes to his plans, he takes the long path, the long road. So having Scorpion and controlling Scorpion is just a stepping stone in his path to gaining control. So if he can control Scorpion, he can control the fiery energies of the Netherrealm through Scorpion. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself on a limb and say Scorpion's Arcana is linked to the fiery energies of the Netherrealm. That's why he was chosen by Quan. So there we go. That's the one thing. So let's get that off, because in the games and as far as other media, it's not expressed as to why Quan chose Hanzo. So I've kind of expanded on it using what we've got in the new movie. So when it comes to how long he's been there and, you know, how did he gain his powers? Now, we've seen different incarnations on how he's done this. In the latest incarnation was the Scorpion's Revenge, where you see Hanzo basically chained up and he's kind of flesh and blood. Now, I found that a bit off because it's supposed to be soul or essence that has been dragged down. Being made flesh and blood kind of, I don't know, it just seems weird. Can you be flesh and blood down there if your body's been taken and all that's left is your soul, your essence? So I'm going to do my version, and it's going to be a bit weird. So he's been there for like decades and decades. And during this time, instead of wandering the Netherrealm, walking the plains, and getting into fights with demons, yet, basically, the fires of the Netherrealm were too much for his soul to handle. So what would happen is, his Arcana is still linked with him, because his Arcana is linked to the fiery energies of the Netherrealm. But at the minute, he can't control it. So the fiery energies literally toast his soul into ash, into a fiery ash. And from that ash, he keeps being reborn. He keeps being reborn. And every time he's reborn, he gains a little bit of more understanding of the fires and withstanding that pain and harnessing that pain. So you could say over decades, probably close to 100 years, he's been in a rage, and it's overtook him, and the fires have just engulfed him, and he's turned to ash every time. And each time he's building up an immunity to the pain, and he's beginning to understand how these fires work. So I find it a different approach to the rebirth of Hanzo into Scorpion, of him understanding the fires. So you could say it's along the lines of the Phoenix. He rises like the Phoenix, but it's happened over decades. So you could say like the first few times it would almost happen instantly, and then over time he would learn to control it, but it would still get the better of him, and then he'd just golf into flames again, turn to ash, get reborn, understand it a little bit more, control that a little bit more, focus his rage a bit more. So there you go. That's my other interpretation as to the rebirth of Scorpion, or Hanzo into Scorpion. So there. So over time as well, you could say that Quan Chi is he's intrigued by how Hanzo is coping. So he's not coaching him. He's kind of egging him on. So he's kind of egging him on, and Hanzo's trying his hardest just to channel his rage, channel his energy into becoming stronger, harnessing the fires of the Netherrealm. Chris Jones says, centuries of pain and tormenting hellfire brought him wisdom of the Netherrealm. Not wisdom, but more of an understanding of the pain. It's like he built up a tolerance of the fire to the point where his arcana starts to come forward, and it helps him control it that little bit more each time he's reborn. So every time he's reborn, he gains that little bit more knowledge on understanding and tolerance to the pain. But at the same time, it's like you know the feeling of the pain, but it's just like, say, a seasoned fighter. They'll get hit in the face or whatever, and they'll just brush it off. They still feel the pain, but it's like they don't react to it. They try and turn their mind off to it. So you could say that Hanzo / Scorpion still feels the pain of the fire, which keeps his rage burning all the time. He'll never forget the pain. He'll always feel the pain, which is why he'll always feel rage. And always have that burning feeling of revenge. So this will really get deep into the Scorpion character, and to have his character always feel pain, always feel the fires of the Netherrealm. You kind of have to feel sorry for him. It gives that new feeling to Scorpion. As to, it's like, oh my God, it's like, I mean, let's go real world. People that feel cancer, they kind of get used to the pain, but it's always there. They kind of like live with it, and they always feel it. It's a nasty feeling. So put Scorpion in that sort of box where he's always feeling the fires of the Netherrealm burning him up. And it's always keeping his rage, always keeping him on his toes, always giving him the energy, because he feeds off it as well. So the angrier he gets, the hotter he gets, the more energy he gets, but he still feels the pain. So it does make you feel for the character more. Chris said, "Yeah, I'm with you. Thanks." So yeah, you kind of get where I'm coming at. So it's so there you go. So Quan Chi's there watching Hanzo slowly becoming something different. Now, you don't know whether Quan Chi actually wants him to actually be what you see now, as the Scorpion Spectre. But I think this is what Hanzo becomes naturally. And then Quan Chi can use his spells to control the human element of him, to then manipulate him into controlling the fires of the Netherrealm. So Quan Chi's there manipulating everything, and he's also got the spell of keeping Hanzo within the Netherrealm. So Quan Chi, with this spell, keeping him there, had to make sure that there was no living link on Earth. Why? Because if there's a direct link with Hanzo, then the spell could potentially be broken. So, you can kind of see that it leads to the Cole Young character being the only link. Even though we kind of know that his daughter's there. So kind of passed on, but Cole Young is the one with the mark, so we have to go by what the film tells us. Hello, Anamaru. Aladdin's in. How's it going? I don't know what you've missed. So, Quan Chi had to make sure that there was no living bloodline that could potentially break Quan Chi's curse. The curse that keeps Hanzo's soul domed into the Netherrealm, keeps him there. So again, you have to have Quan Chi involved in the creation of Scorpion. Or Scorpion, or Hanzo becoming Scorpion. He needs to be there. Quan Chi needs to be there. So I've got a note here because now we know that Hanzo Scorpion has been in the Netherrealm for hundreds of years. And when it comes to Scorpion near the end of the film, speak English, get over here. People always say, how does he know English? He's supposed to be, Japanese. He's been speaking Japanese. Why would he speak English? Now, I'm saying I have to laugh because people don't seem to realise that, he's had hundreds of years to literally learn another language. And he's had to, listen to Quan Chi rabble. So he's had to learn English somehow. So he's had to learn it from Quan Chi, who you have to assume knows English. So there we go. That's a small little note that I've added in there. So Quan Chi's now, he's now got the control of Scorpion or manipulated him, and showing him that I can help you channel your rage into getting the revenge you need. Keep on him, saying, I know the person that's done it. You really want Bihan, don't you? You really want him. I can help you, and this, that, and the other, but you have to do it on my time. So, of course, Scorpion's gonna wait. So, Scorpion's just waiting for his opportunity, standing there in the fires like you see him. So, again, you have Quan Chi just manipulating him. He's like, I can help you get your revenge, but you must first do something for me. And those sorts of things. Quan Chi being Quan Chi. Where am I? So there you go. So Quan Chi was the one that took the soul of Hanzo to the Netherrealm. Took him to the Netherrealm and just left him there because Quan Chi knows that Hanzo's Arcana had a link to the fiery energies of the Netherrealm. So that's why Quan Chi specifically chose Hanzo, because of that link to the energies of the Netherrealm. So there we go. What else have I got? So I will now get into this Cole Young being the key. Cole Young being the key for Scorpion to just wait, and he knows that there is a link there, and he can sometimes just break through, just about get enough through to leave little hints to Cole Young, like the image in the mirror that Cole Young senses, the showing Cole Young the kunai saying that, you know, this is what I need, you know, the blood, you know, you've got a link with your blood. And it seems that it wasn't just as easy as just having Cole Young have the kunai and then, you know, cut himself with it or something like, you know, blood linking with blood to open that direct link. I think Cole Young's energy, his arcana had something to do with it as well. So when we saw Cole Young grab the kunai to stop Sub-Zero from stabbing him with it, you see like pierce his skin, so he's bleeding all over it. But then you see Cole Young, you see he's freezing, he's turning blue, but then the energies, he's gaining the energy. He's gaining energy with himself, which kind of you can see he's heating up. And as the blood is on the kunai linking with the blood of Hanzo, his arcana is also activated to give energy to his blood, which then turns it on fire. And that gives that direct link. So then he obviously opened up that link to Scorpion to then go from the Netherrealm straight to Earthrealm to where his blood link has been linked. Well, basically it's been linked. So he's now there, knowing where that Sub-Zero is there, and then he saves Cole. So that would be the spell being broken. I would say that's the spell being broken, which is what Quan Chi didn't want. Now, why didn't he want it? Because basically, Scorpion has now gained enough abilities to not be held. His energies now transcend the Netherrealm. He can now go wherever he wants, whenever he wants. Partly because of now being linked to Cole Young and his energies due to the blood link. So the spells holding Scorpion in the Netherrealm won't work this time. Which is why Quan Chi wanted all links erased. So, someone's just popped in. Hey Dave, this is unrelated, but where did you find the MK movie font? Can't find it anywhere. I saw it in your thumbnail. Right. Okay. If you go on my Twitter and send me a direct message after the stream, I will send you a link to the website where I got it from. So I'll basically send you that link, and then you just click on a link, and what it'll do, it will download a zip file, and the zip file was for a competition at the time where people could use the images and the font to do their own posters, and the font was in there. So what I'll do, if you send me a direct message on Twitter, I can send it you there. So can you see my name? I don't know if you can. I'll post it here. Hang on. So it'll be at Savage 1982. So that's my Twitter handle. So if you give me a private message, and I will send you the link. So there you go. So I forgot where I was. Ferrero Rocher, man. It weren't that bad. It could have been a lot worse, but they did put a bit of effort. Probably just not enough thought, but they did put enough effort into the character. Enough for me to do a whole stream on expanding the character before I even watched the film. So, in a stream before, I kind of went over how I'd expand on his powers, and it was before I even saw the film. So, it's not that bad. He's not that bad of a character. Could be better. Could have been explained more, but could have been a lot worse. So there you go. So I'll get back to, where was I? Yeah. So because of the link with Cole severed the spell holding him down in the Netherrealm, Scorpion is now free to explore any realm he wants, wherever he wants, because he gains his energies from the fires of the Netherrealm. So you could say it's like he's a battery, and he charges himself via the Netherrealm. That's where all his power comes from. That's where all it stems from, because of his Arcana. His Arcana linked to the fires of the Netherrealm is why he gains so much energy from there, which is why he can teleport literally anywhere, which is why now, because the spell was broken, the spell was put on him before he becomes Scorpion, and he couldn't break it through because the spell was strong at that time. Now that the link has been, the link with Cole has broken the spell holding him down, he's now free. He's now free from Quan Chi's grip. But Quan Chi can still manipulate him. We know what Quan Chi's like. So even though in the film we see him defeat Sub-Zero, if he was to, say, in a sequel, in a tournament setting, want control of Scorpion, he can manipulate and say, Sub-Zero is still alive, but he's now under my protection. And if you want him, you're going to have to do what I say. And then after, you can have him. He basically manipulating Scorpion into doing his bidding. And, then later on, you could then have Scorpion just waiving the protection. Basically meaning that, there was no protection of Sub-Zero, because Scorpion didn't know that he couldn't be held down by Quan Chi's spells anymore. The spells don't work on him. That's why Quan Chi has to mentally manipulate him. So when the moment come, that's when Scorpion was free from anything Quan Chi could do. It was during this moment where Scorpion thought, right, I've got you. Lost it. So there we go. So there we go. I hope I've explained enough there. So there we go. Scorpion now has no hold over him from Quan Chi. And when I think that when it comes to a tournament setting, Scorpion's going to want to wait for a perfect opportunity to get Scorpion, and then reveal to Quan Chi that he never had control over him. So you could say Scorpion's pretending. He's just buying his time because he wants to get close to Sub-Zero, and he wants Quan Chi to believe that that Quan Chi has control over him. Yo, Lou, Lou's just popped in, but you've kind of missed everything. Do you want me to have a quick run over, Lou? Or I don't know how much of this you've heard. So I could do a quick run over. Go over some bullet points. So you've heard literally nothing. Half an hour, literally. Right. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning. Right. Half hour's passed. So let's go back to the beginning. Where's my pictures? So I'll go back here. So, right. Where was I? Right. So I started off as to why would Quan want Hanzo specifically. So I was going over the Arcana route. Yeah. Let's start again. Sorry. Right, let's go over this now. Kind of bullet point style. Right. Quan Chi picks Hanzo specifically. Why? Hanzo's Arcana is linked to the fire energies of the Netherrealm. So Hanzo's Arcana is linked to the fiery energies of the Netherrealm, which is why Quan Chi could sense it. Which is why when it comes to this moment in the film, you see his soul going to a blaze, probably because of his Arcana being linked to the Netherrealm, and he was always tied there. So his soul gets sucked to the Netherrealm, where Quan Chi is waiting. Now, this is where I'll go into my interpretation of Hanzo becoming Scorpion. How did he become this? Now, the interpretations we saw in the last incarnation, the Scorpion's Revenge, was where basically when he was sent down to the Netherrealm, he was still flesh and blood. And he was being tortured. And he literally had to fight for hundreds of years, fighting demons and honing his skills that way. So, my interpretation would be, think of it like a phoenix bursting into flames and being reborn. But with Hanzo, the fires would overwhelm his soul, and his soul would basically be burnt to ash. And from that ash, he would be reborn in the Netherrealm. This would happen over decades and decades and decades. And each time it happens, Hanzo would develop a little bit more of an understanding of the power of the fire, get used to the pain of the fire, and then start to harness it. Sometimes it would overwhelm him. He couldn't control it. Where if he couldn't control it, again, it would overwhelm him. He'd burst into flames, into ash, where he would be reborn again. And over time, the fires of the Netherrealm would be, and the pain would constantly be there. He'd always feel this pain of the fire, which is why his rage is always unrelenting. Because, as I said earlier as well, you know, I have to bring like a real world element into this, where you have people that have cancer who constantly feel pain, and they get used to it. They live with it. They have to live with that pain, and they pull up a front because they have to deal with it. So apply that to Scorpion, always feeling the pain of the fire and the burning of his soul constantly. But because of this, it's always feeding him because of his Arcana. So his Arcana being linked to the energies of the Netherrealm, and the fire is always burning his soul, and he's always feeling it. And because he's harnessed it and he's learned to control it, he's now become this entity, this spectre. He's become more. But Quan Chi didn't plan for Hanzo to become what he's seen now. He didn't know what he would become. So, which is why Quan Chi would like always be like standing off and just watch and laugh and basically just be an arse. Be an arse to Hanzo, and Hanzo would want to fight to withstand, to harness the energies and survive, and you know, basically hold on to the rage and control it all. And during this time, you'd see Quan Chi saying, "Come on, you want revenge? I can get you revenge. You just have to do as I say, and I can help you. I can help you get revenge on the one that killed your family, your clan, who killed your children, who killed your wife, left you with nothing." Which is Quan Chi mentally manipulating Scorpion. So yeah, over the hundreds of years, you could say Hanzo has now become Scorpion, and he while he's there, he can't break free from the Netherrealm, because before he becomes Scorpion, Quan Chi would place a spell doming him in, which is why Quan Chi had to make sure that there was no living link on Earth for Scorpion to potentially break that spell, and giving Scorpion that direct link to leave, because he doesn't know how powerful Scorpion would get due to Hanzo's Arcana. So now the link has been broken through Cole. Quan Chi spells don't work on Scorpion anymore, because Scorpion, being a battery, being charged in the Netherrealm, is now probably too powerful for Quan Chi to place spells over, which is why Quan Chi has to resort to mental manipulation and promising Scorpion revenge. I can help you get revenge. So when it comes to now, hopefully a potential sequel, when it comes to a tournament setting, Quan Chi can then say, if you help me, I can help you get Scorpion, help you get Sub-Zero, because he's still alive. But Sub-Zero is under my protection. You will do as I say, and if you do as I say, I will let you have Sub-Zero and let you have your ultimate revenge. And Scorpion being manipulated kind of agrees for now, but what I kind of like expressed in a stream before, Scorpion's just buying his time. He knows that Quan Chi can't control him, but he's pretending that the spells are working and Sub-Zero's protected because of his spells, because Scorpion can just override them because he's too powerful. Scorpion is too powerful for Quan Chi's spells. So basically Scorpion's just waiting for the opportune moment. So there we go. The spell was broken as soon as Cole's blood was linked with Hanzo's, mixing that with the Arcana of Cole, with his Arcana being like energy, harnessing energy. Giving that energy, opening that doorway, that direct link, breaking the spell, holding Scorpion in the Netherrealm. So now that spell has been broken, we now have the Scorpion that we know, who could teleport anywhere he wants, wherever he wants, because he's that powerful. So there we go. Hopefully I've explained that. Well, I've explained it about 3 times now. So it's been 40 minutes. I've explained it 3 times. So we'll have to, we'll have to see what the sequel does to the Scorpion character and how they tackle Scorpion not being able to teleport right away. Why can't he leave the Netherrealm? There's got to be some reason why he can't leave. So when it comes to the ending of the film and we see this, if you can hear it, we hear that faint voice say Scorpion. So as you hear the fiery waves, the sound of the fire zipping around Scorpion, we can hear the words Scorpion. We hear that. And I'm thinking, is that Quan Chi calling Scorpion? And then Scorpion just, thinking he's got his revenge, thinking that he can now relax. He gets called back to the only person that's kind of, helped him, you could say. You could say Scorpion's got Stockholm Syndrome with Quan Chi. So he goes back to Quan Chi. And that's where you see Quan Chi manipulate Scorpion more, saying, Sub-Zero isn't dead. You haven't got your revenge, but I can help you get the revenge if you do as I say. So again, he's still got Scorpion under the thumb. What have you said? It says Hanzo Asashi's Scorpion, don't we? I think that's Quan. Yeah, it says Scorpion. I don't know if it says Hanzo Asashi. I've been trying to listen to this part over and over. I can hear the word Scorpion, and I don't know if there's anything after. I'd like to know, because you kind of hear that whisper, but I can't decipher what's being said. It'd be interesting to know if there is anything said during that moment, apart from you hearing the word Scorpion. Yeah, Quan Chi has to play a crucial role one way or another. He has to, because without Quan Chi, there is no Scorpion. This is that link that you can't break. There has to be a reason why Scorpion couldn't leave the Netherrealm as Scorpion. He's supposed to be all this, this powerful spectre and teleport anywhere and everywhere whenever he wants. He's harnessing the energies, honing his skills for hundreds of years in the Netherrealm. Why couldn't he just leave? Which is why I've come with today's stream, as Quan Chi is the one holding him there. He put the spell on Hanzo before he becomes Scorpion. And Scorpion wasn't powerful enough to break that dome, that spell dome holding him in the Netherrealm. It was only due to Cole Young and his blood being linked with the blood of Hanzo on the kunai that that direct link to Earthrealm was there, and the spell was broken. So once that dome had been broken, the spell was broken. And at that moment, Scorpion realised his power. He could then leave whenever he wanted. And because he's harnessed all this power in the Netherrealm, charging himself up, Quan Chi now can't do the same spell. Can't hold him there. Scorpion is now too powerful. Lou says, Raiden says to Scorpion, you're a free man and you could start acting like it in Scorpion's Revenge. Maybe he is in Quan's debt. If you're going by Scorpion's Revenge, a different interpretation of Mortal Kombat yet again, you're going by that interpretation. I am trying to weave within the film we have now, the live action film we have now. So, which is why I have to bring in the Arcana and Cole Young and his link, the blood link, and bring in a reason why Scorpion couldn't just teleport. We know Scorpion can teleport anywhere, at any time, whenever he wants. But there's a reason why he can't do it in this film, and why he was trapped in the Netherrealm, and he needed that link, which is why Quan Chi needed to make sure that there was no living bloodline to Hanzo on Earth, because he knew that spell could be broken if there was a direct blood link. So, I mean, they're going to do there's rumor of a direct sequel to Scorpion's Revenge, isn't there? So it'd be interesting to see how they tackle that in that interpretation. But I specifically want to go over the new movie, because I want to help iron out all of these little kinks as much as I can to help the film. I want to help it, streamline, the little wrinkles that are there. Maybe they kind of like rushed it and they didn't come across these little kinks. Chris says, does anyone think the writer will go down the Quan Chi route via deception between Sub and Scorpion? Well, again, it's, you could say that Quan Chi hired the Lin Kuei to take out Hanzo and the Lin Kuei. Sorry, take out the Shiro Ryu. The Lin Kuei was hired to take out the Shiro Ryu and make sure that there was nothing left, because Quan Chi wanted the soul of Hanzo. He specifically chose him because of that Arcana being linked to the energies of the Netherrealm. So he had to make sure that there was no blood link left to hold Hanzo within the confines of the Netherrealm. But of course, Scorpion, gaining all this energy and, finally harnessing the fires of the Netherrealm and, with the help of his Arcana, still be linked to his soul. He's now become too powerful for Quan Chi to hold down, which is why Quan Chi has to use mental manipulation. No one has sent me a direct message wanting to come on yet, so I'm just going to assume that no one wants to come on, and I'm explaining myself quite easily. Is it easy to follow? So I'm just assuming I'm kind of like getting the details out, and it's easy to follow. So Lou coming in late, I don't know whether you heard my notes about why Scorpion speaks English. So Scorpion has had literally hundreds of years, and he's had to listen to Quan Chi basically rabble on for hundreds of years. So he had to obviously learn English. So when it comes to Scorpion saying get over here, it makes sense that it stands to reason that he's learnt English or a bit of English hanging around Quan Chi. So let's just get that out there. So Chris says, yeah, I get all of where you're coming from. Lovely. So I'm kind of getting it across. Now I might have to, me going over it a few more times every now and again it's just in case people have a question in their mind and it's like they still don't get it. So I'll go over it a little bit here and there. Just need to get these ideas on the right desk, which is another reason why I'm doing these streams, you know. So, so hopefully the right people, you know, who are linked with the you know, the writers, or, you know, in the ear of the writers, can, you know, say, you know, we've got something here. Do you want to listen to this and see if you can get some ideas? You know, that kind of help. So yeah, this is why I've done these streams. Lou says, but after 500 years, he only says, get over here. I do think this needs to be ironed out. Well, you know, if they do bring in the Quan Chi element, you have to assume that Quan Chi speaks English. And, you know, Scorpion, you know, being released, he's still going to use his native language, isn't he? You know, everyone would. You go to your you resort to your native language. So if it comes to a sequel, and we know the deal with Scorpion now, and all the introductions are out the way, you know, you can now start to give Scorpion some more, you know, better developed dialogue in English. Even if it's short lines, you know, it's, you know, them being in English, and, you know, you have Quan Chi speaking English, and then you show that, you know, Scorpion's been learning English because of Quan Chi being in his bloody ear for hundreds of years. You know, hopefully that it will get ironed out. So I don't know if I have any more images. I think that's the last one. Yeah. So let's go back to, let's go back to this. So there we go. Lou again saying, I'm not expecting them to say that Quan Chi gave Scorpion a 101 lesson in English, but like you say, even if it's a few things, well, I've also had the idea. I've kind of ripped it from another movie called The 13th Warrior with Antonio Banderas. Now, if you've watched that film, you know exactly what I'm going on about. Now, the 13th Warrior, being the Antonio Banderas character, doesn't understand the group that he's with. He doesn't understand, but he listens. Now, it obviously seems far-fetched that he kind of copped onto the language in one night. But going down that route of listening to Quan Chi, and, you know, for hundreds of years, you know, it's safe to assume that Hanzo / Scorpion would have more than enough time to know what Quan Chi is talking about and speak English. You know, how many lifetimes, you know, has he been there to learn a few words at least? So there we go. Get the inspiration from the 13th Warrior. So within a movie setting, it can be done. So yeah, there we go. Chris says, well, he would have picked up on it. For example, if any of us went to live and work in another country, it would only be a matter of time before we start to adapt. Exactly. We would have to learn the language of the other country in order to understand and, you know, function well. But, you know, Scorpion's literally got, you know, 10 lifetimes, probably less than 10 lifetimes, to at least learn a few words. Luke, yeah, that's true. So there we go. So does anyone have any ideas that they want to, or questions that they actually want to come onto the stream? So it's an open invitation. If you want to send me a direct message, actually, I'm going to come onto cam. I'm going to come onto cam because I think that's the only time my name comes up. So let's hang on. So where am I? There we go. So there's my handle at the bottom at Dave Savage 1982. You can send a direct message and I will send you the link. That's if you want to come in. If you don't have to, then I'll go over one more thing and then I will let you all go to bed. So I think I've explained myself pretty well as to the idea as to why Scorpion couldn't just leave the Netherrealm. It's because Quan had specifically chosen Hanzo because of his Arcana being linked to the Netherrealm energies and fire. And before Scorpion could develop his own powers, there was a spell over him, keeping him confined to the Netherrealm. So once Scorpion had gained enough energy after being released through Cole, the spell was broken. And now Scorpion is just too powerful for Quan Chi to entrap again. So there you go. So the open invitation is on, and I'm just going to wait a minute or two. If not, I'm just going to go over the competition that I did last week. That no one's done it. It's a shame, but it's still open. I will post up the competition again. I'm still waiting on people to develop their own Mortal Kombat character, and I can judge it. And the winner will get a Fic-tagious t-shirt. Lou says, I think I'm going to discuss this at some point, but do you think Raiden let Kung Lao die because he knows that is what is going to motivate Liu Kang to win the tournament? Is Raiden that sadistic? Is he that sadistic? Now, you could say that he kind of is, because after sending Cole Young back to his family, he was playing something like a 4D chess move, and knowing that Shang Tsung would send someone to Cole Young and his family in order to rush Cole to unlock his Arcana, which is why Raiden says, thank you for helping my fighter discover his Arcana. So, is Raiden that sadistic? Do they really want Raiden to be that sadistic? That's a tough one. That's definitely a character breaker, isn't it? Chris says, not sure if Raiden is that hardcore, but you never know with the gods. Yeah, exactly. That is a very good question. Did he allow Lao to die, or was Raiden preoccupied in trying to collect the fighters individually and bring them to the void during that time? That could be another way of looking at it. And realizing that Cole was interrupted with being zapped up into the void, he then sent down Kung Lao to help Cole Young again, and then Raiden was preoccupied yet again to bring him back Liu Kang, Sonya, Jax, and Cole thinking that Kung Lao could hold his own. Do you see what I mean? So I don't think Raiden would be that sadistic to let Kung Lao die. I think Raiden was preoccupied in trying to get everyone else back, which is why he sent Kung Lao to try and help while bringing back the lesser fighters. So do you see what I mean there? So by the time Raiden brought back everyone else, it was too late for Kung Lao. Raiden might as well have joined the other squad. But I mean, that's if you see, the sadistic way. But I'm trying to explain a different way. He was preoccupied bringing everyone else back. The reason why he sent Kung Lao back is because Kung Lao is the better fighter, and he thought he could hold his own. Lou says, I just feel that they haven't really kept to how Raiden is in the games or past films, so they could really see how deep the rabbit hole goes with him. Like in my past streams, I kind of went over the characteristics of Raiden as to why he is like he is now. He's dejected. He feels dejected. He feels lost. He feels beaten. He's holding on. He's holding on because the inevitable is happening. And you can see that Raiden just doesn't care anymore. He's trying to hold on to that little tiny bit before he realizes that Earth is lost. So I'm trying to, in my mind, I'm trying to develop the character as to why he is like he is. And that he's dejected because he feels Earth is lost and he's just holding on as long as he can. Oh, no, hang on, wrong one. Yeah, it is a tough one. Lou says, I really don't know how I feel about this. Raiden being sadistic, yeah. Death is just another portal. It just makes it seem like there's nothing at stake. Yeah, but you could say that, but I mean, you could say that about the games. Everyone just returns. There's a reason. I mean, they kind of like give it a reason. They give it a bit more weight as to bringing back killed warriors through the Revenant route, and that the good guys are now the bad guys. Yeah, it is a tough one as to, making death not seem that weighty. But we'll see how they tackle it. Chris says, I just think Kung Lao got the short end of the stick on this occasion, but depends how creative Greg wants to be moving forward. Now, I have a theory. Now, in the first game, which is the tournament setting, Kung Lao's not there. So taking him out before the tournament in this film would make sense if you tried to go the game route of Kung Lao not being there. But you also have to give a reason for Liu Kang wanting to get revenge. So you can kind of see it that way. So Kung Lao is not in the first game, the original game. But now you give him reason for Liu Kang to be better, to want to train more, to be more. So there you go. So that's how I'd go. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. They don't want him to kind of be in the next film because technically he wasn't in the first game. Screen FU is in, but he's an hour late. So you have to rewatch this in double speed. But you're welcome to come on. Thank you for coming on. I don't know how much of this you've heard, so I don't know if you want to actually come onto this stream and give your take on what you've heard. You've just said I think Kung Lao will be back in the third film. Raiden will bring him back. I don't know. I don't know about that. You've got to give reason for Liu Kang to want to get revenge. Chris says, sorry, Dave, you're going to have to explain it again for the 5th time. No! Hang on. I'm going to come on. Hang on. Here we go. So, you want me to explain it for a 5th time? No! No! Why? Lou says, I think Kung Lao will be in the second one, but Shang Tsung morphed into. You could do that, like it'd be like a nod to the original movie, where Shang Tsung turns into Liu Kang's brother and tries to convince him to self-delete. So yeah, it'd be a good callback to the original movie. So I could see that. That would be good. And then say, skip ahead. Liu Kang wins, fatality, and the soul of Kung Lao is released, and Kung Lao would be like, basically soul's in limbo. You could say soul is in limbo, but my idea to get Kung Lao back is when you see Shang Tsung take the soul of Kung Lao, the body of Kung Lao is still alive. So it's like a lifeless zombie without a soul. And the goal of Liu Kang is to get that soul back and reunite it with the body once again. So you've got like a goal there. There's a goal there for Liu Kang to get the soul back because he wants his cousin back. That's how I would do it. But again, this is Hollywood. They don't look at ideas of us ground level fans. But this is why I do these streams, because, hopefully someone in the ear of these writers, of these, producers or whatever, they could give these streams to, those types of people and say, they're onto something here. Could you use something like this? Would this be a route that you could go down? So that's why I do these streams, because I want to help. I want to help iron out those little kinks that the first film has, and they do have them. There's again, it's a spaghetti highway. It's a spaghetti junction of things going off too much, and just try and iron them out. And then when it comes to the second film, everyone will kind of forgive all the kinks of the first film. It'll be like, okay, I can see why that's that. I can see why that's that. I can see why that's this. I can see why that had to change. I've tried to weed through the film we have now, because they're not going to alter the film now. They're not going to do a Snyderverse or a Toddverse. They're not going to do it. They're not going to spend millions trying to change the film again. So we have to now use what we've got and weave in little changes that will help at least iron out some of those kinks. And I'm hoping that my streams and my ideas do that. And I'm very grateful for people like Future Boy and Lose Life for taking my ideas and doing, taking time out of their own schedules and their own videos to make videos on my ideas. I thank you for that. So, it's nice that my ideas are being heard, and they're being, you know, they're branching out, and people are using them to branch them out. Which, you know, I've got to thank everyone for that. Screen FU says, haha, just realised when you pronounced my channel name FU, never realised it could be interpreted that way. I never thought it would. Is that what it meant to be? Kung Fu. Okay, it's Kung Fu, not FU. You're gonna have to. You might have to change something there. But the onus is on you, you know. You also said, agreed, Dave. I hope second film slows down a bit. They've got the introductions out the way, so they can now play more. They can do more action. They could go over the tournament more, the rules of the tournament, like I did in one of my other streams. It's all my ideas are here on YouTube for people to, you know, expand on. They're there to expand on and change however they want. I've laid some groundwork there at least. That's amazing. The screen FU. Oh man, you're welcome. You have great ideas. Thank you. Thank you very much, Luke. Screen says, I hope there's an extended cut. If only can see longer, but where I was in it. Oh yeah, you was one of the guys in the background of the Cole Young Ramirez fight. you just want to see yourself in there, don't you? The day I filmed, so Extra had so much more than made final cut. I can, yeah. But I think they just they could have done much more developing the Cole Young character, and I did express that in another stream. I keep referencing my streams, but you know that's all I can go by. Going over extensions and ideas and fixes, they could expand on the character more if they wanted. But again, I don't see producers and Warner Brothers ponying up the cash to do extra scenes, or you know, to do a Toddverse or a fan cut. You know, I don't see it happening. So we have to work with what we've got. Screen also says, "Yeah, Dave, you have some great ideas. Thank you. I'm glad that you know, I can explain them as much as I can, and they're not just thrown out there and no one explains the ideas, which is why I kind of have to go over them over and over, just to make sure people can understand. And I know that you know, so then I know that you know." So there we go. You know, Chris has just said, yeah, they got 20 extra minutes. Is that confirmed, official? We don't know. I don't know if that's rumor that they have that much. I was told they have 10 minutes, then I was told 25. Now you say 20. I don't know if there's anything official of how much there was cut out or held back. Now, people from the film, like Louis Tan, says, can't wait for them to be seen in special features. And I'm like, special features? I want it in the film. I want it to be there in the film. I don't want special features. I want an extended cut. I want the ultimate cut. I want the fatality cut of Mortal Kombat. And, you know, be extra fight scenes, more explanation as to the characters, especially the Cole Young character. You know, shows why he's led us to believe that he's this loser. You know, and give us a reason why he couldn't fight back up in the ranks again because of his, you know, he's lost confidence in himself. So 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Put it in the film. We want it in the film. Chris says DVDs are gone, man. We need it in the final cut. DVDs still sell. There's always going to be a market for hard copies, for discs. There's always going to be a market there. Digital, when it comes to digital, it can be taken. So you want the physical copy, you want it, but bring on the 4K version. I've been trying to pitch release the final cut. Yeah, but that's only because you want to see you. You don't want to see more of the film. You want to see more of you, don't you? I know how you feel, because I was cast as a zombie extra in a British produced film called I think it's called Book of the Dead, and there was over 100 of us, and we were painted and we were zombied up, and there was a scene in this film where that was never used, and I was disappointed that I wasn't seen. There was a scene where in a back alley at night, you'd have zombies walking backwards and forwards, but going round an angel and a demon that's caused all this havoc. And the angel would say to the demon, "Do you really think you've won?" And they'd say all the lines, and us as zombies would walk around. We would, because we're looking for food, as you are, as a zombie, you're looking for food, flesh. But we would see this angel and demon as something more that we've got no chance. So it'd be like an invisible barrier. So as we're walking towards it, we'd be like, we'd be hit by their ambient energy, and we'd be like knocked back, and we'd walk around. And they did this a few times where, we'd have one angle and we'd all walk around, and then they'd do another angle and we'd do it again. And sometimes they'd have me at the front, and then in other scenes they'd have me at the back. So I was first or last. So I was seen. And throughout the film, I was like, I hope I'm seen. So I'm watching this film just like this, going, and then I was never there. The scene was cut out. They actually cut out the whole angel. I think it was the whole angel narrative. They cut that all out. They just stuck with the demon side of it. So I could feel your pain of not seeing yourself during films. After doing all the filming, I feel your pain. I really do. Lou says, I hope for sequels they don't show 75% of the fatalities in the trailer. Yes, they spoilt it in the trailers. They promised us more, and there's only that much more. So yeah, which is why they need people like us, you, me, ground level fans to do screen tests. I want to put myself out for screen testing, because it's like when it comes to ground level fans like us, they don't really listen to us because we haven't got that voice. We don't have anything backing us up. We're just the piggy bank to them. Now, I've got to give it to Todd Gardner and Greg Russo for, putting that ear out and listening to a select few of us. So I'm honoured that, Todd Gardner follows me on Twitter. I might be a pain in the backside sometimes, when it comes to personal stuff. But when it comes to producers actually listening to us and reaching out when they can, you can't knock it. You just can't. It's nice that they do that sort of thing. So it was another reason why I wanted to do these streams. It's more so to do with people like Todd Garner and Greg Russo, keeping their ear out every now and again and hoping that at that moment they're listening, we're speaking. So, you know, that's why I do these streams. So, you know, if people actually like my ideas, they can push on, share the streams, and we'll see how far they get. Screen FU says, so true. What was funny, my audition was about martial arts questions, fitness, what I studied, and then on day, nothing, just in a crowd. So no idea what that was about. I think they wanted to get an understanding of fans of fighting. Do you see what I mean? So think of it this way: if they just got someone willy-nilly and they just go, right, you're just an extra in a crowd, and then all of a sudden you're there, you know, you just got called up to be in the audience to something that's being filmed. A person that doesn't really know about fighting much is not going to react to a kick, a punch. You're going to be like, yeah. So I think that's why they wanted someone like you there that kind of knows action, knows fighting. They wanted to gauge if you could react to certain things that happen while they're filming. Do you see what I mean? So you having an understanding of how, you know, fighting, you like to spectate it, you react to it well. I think that's what they were going for. Do you understand what's going on here in this scene? We want you to react to what's happening in this scene. So there you go. That's how I see it. If that's what they wanted, that's how I would gauge it. So there you go. Hopefully I've opened your mind to that, what they were kind of looking for. Again, you said, Dave, you get it exactly how I was when I was watching. He's like, where am I? Am I there? I'm not there. Turn the film off. Chris says they even gave the first 7 minutes for free. They gave away the most, what can you say? The most deep part of the film. I think it was the deepest part of the film when it comes to feeling for these characters, because, you know, I know they had to condense a lot within the 7 minutes and then get on with the film, but with what they did within that first 7 minutes, they did give you a good idea on Hanzo, you know, and his family and the love between them. They had to do it within 7 minutes, so you have to give them a bit of leeway. And it's a Mortal Kombat film, it's not Hamlet. So they did a good job, and it was the most heartfelt of the film. And I think if they would have just left it, if they was to give away something, end it at the part where you see Hanzo running away and he spills the water, and then leave it at that. That's where I would have left it. Lou says, me too, Dave. I'd love to put myself forward for testing. How do we do it? How do we do it? Should we get a hashtag going? And then just keep tagging Todd Garner in there. We've got, you know, they're going to have to look more ground level to people like us. Good points. This is to do with why they asked you questions. Yeah. I've got gas. You say, I think the first 7 minutes was good marketing, as many people had a perception of what the film would be. So that showed it wasn't like previous films. But Hollywood have a tendency now to give everything away in trailers. So they get you hooked, and by the time you watch the film, you think, I've already seen this, and I'm not surprised. they don't need to give away so much. Again, get testers to screen the films and get people to watch trailers. It's an idea. Will they go for it though? So there we go. Is anyone wanting me to go over the main topic of this stream before I let you all go? Does anyone want to pitch in? Because nobody sent me a message. No one wants to come on. Again. But, you know, questions are there. They can give me questions anytime via Twitter or leave a comment on the video itself on YouTube. So there we go. Hopefully I've explained why Scorpion couldn't leave the confines of the Netherrealm straight away. Is because he's been held down by a spell by Quan before Scorpion had enough power to leave by himself anyway. And he was waiting for that spell to be broken via the only link on Earth with Cole's blood. And Scorpion, my interpretation of how Hanzo becomes Scorpion. So it's more like a phoenix rising from the ashes. But in Scorpion's case, it's over and over and over until he gets used to it and develops an understanding of the power. Screen says, good stream. First one I've watched as I had been recording my own videos, so didn't want to get strayed on ideas, but this was good. We'll go back and rewatch. Thank you very much. Yeah, even though you was late, that's fine. I mean, again, I'll do these streams so people can actually do their own videos on as well. If they can expand on an idea that I have, go for it. You've got the likes of Future Boy and Lose Life who have done the same, and I thank them as well. Good man for turning up. It was fun whilst you was here, Screen. Yeah, I thank everyone for turning up. It doesn't matter how late, you know, you've decided to come in, and the opportunity is there to watch and listen to me rabble for an hour and a half. So there we go. Right. Before I go, I want to get into this competition again because I do want to get more people in, and you know, it's nice to get people interact more. So Chris says, day streams are always a joy to watch. Thank you very much. Try and keep that high energy if I can, even if I do feel tired from work. So yeah, I'll crack on with this the competition. So on my Twitter, there's a post where it's a competition to win a t-shirt, a Fic-tagious t-shirt, and I don't think I ever got into, ever since I did these streams, as to the reason why I picked the name Fic-tagious. So I wanted something unique, and I thought, well, I like fiction, and explaining fiction and going over fiction, you know, it brings in more people. It gets people interested. So it's contagious. So I thought I will get them words and just bring them together. Fic-tagious, fiction, contagious. And I come up with a tagline where it says fiction is contagious. So that's why I come up with the name Fic-tagious. So there you go. That's why I come up with the name Fic-tagious. So it's for a Fic-tagious t-shirt. And the competition is create your own Mortal Kombat character. But I did have a form that you had to fill. And at the top of the form, it would say who you are. So I know who you are. And then you have the name of your character. And then a brief background of your character. and a brief ending of your character. I don't want pages and pages of explanation. It's probably quarter of a page of a backstory and then quarter of a page of an ending. And it could be within any timeline of the lore, within any point of the lore. So it could be any point. So it's your own. Pick any time. You know, it's up to you. And with this form, I'd like a picture of your character. It could be drawing, it could be photoshopped, it could be 3D, something to give an idea. And then give it a couple of weeks, and then I could pick a winner. And I could probably do a stream going over the top picks. So I can't remember the hashtag. What was the hashtag again? Was it create a character? Create a character. Someone let me know the other day that this was a bit dodgy. It was create a character competition, but all the C's were K's. And again, if you look at it, it seems a bit wrong with all the K's. Yeah, it seems a bit wrong with all the K's. So, could I do Mortal Kombat character competition? No. Oh, it's going to be hard. Yeah. You see what I mean? Yeah, it's a bit. Or could be. Hang on. So if I put MK. I don't know if this is going to be too stupid. I don't know. No, again, no, I can't put that. Again, either way I put it, it's going to be that K, and K. Banned. Cancelled. I need a good hashtag. Or people just tag me in it. People just put my Twitter handle in there. I think that's the only way we're going to have to go about it. So, yeah, create your Mortal Kombat character, put my Twitter handle in there, and, you know, type in create a character competition. You know, type in, no hashtag. I think that's the only way we're going to have to get around it. Now, I know it's not going to kick off, you know, easy or fast. So I'm just going to leave it for a bit. You know, let it carry on for a bit until I get at least 5. If I can get at least 5, then I'll do a whole stream going over these characters, reading through the backgrounds and the endings and showing the pictures. And at the end, I will pick my favourite. I think that's the only way I'm going to have to go around it. So I'll have to wait until I've got at least 5. If it never happens, it never happens. But I'm trying. So there we go. Right. I think I'm done. So I'm going to let everyone go now then. And again, I'm going to thank everyone for coming in, interacting with me. You know, I do like the interaction. It's nice when I can interact back as well. you know, and people like my ideas. You know, hopefully I can keep people interested, and we'll just see how far we can go with this. Now, next week, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I know I want it to be Mortal Kombat related. You know, keep the MK stuff going, but we'll have to see. If something comes up over Twitter or whatever, and I spot something I can probably do at least an hour stream on, I'll see if I can stretch it out. But again, I'll thank everyone for coming in. Chris says it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming in. You know, it's been a pleasure you guys coming in and interacting. So yeah, thank you very much, and hopefully see you next week if I get a good topic. Your view is mine. Thank you, and see you soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you.